favorite, Paul Koerbel. He's playing Elves, like just like he was last week. I think we featured him.
Is he a crowd favorite?
He had a great match last week. It was a very interesting one.
I don't
Two
remember it.
weeks ago.
Must not have been too interesting.
All right, well, just like the majority of my dates, I remember them, but the other person doesn't. All right, Gfroerer is on the Abzan as we saw before. He's got that huge sideboard card of Knight of Souls Betrayal.
Yeah, it's another matchup where that's just a very, very good card.
Yep.
So while these players resolve mulligans, I want to finish my thought from the previous round regarding Kent Ketter.
Yeah, I wanted to finish my thoughts on that subject as well.
Would you like to go first, or should I finish mine?
My whole thing is it's about intent.
Okay.
When you're watching a match, and if you think somebody had the intention of cheating you, they probably cheated you.
Okay.
Obviously, there's ways to gain advantages in Magic matches that are very sly and very subtle.
Mm-hmm.
And you can, if you're a good actor, you can, hide your intent.
Right.
So you just have to. I mean, I try and play in such a way that things are clear and far above board.
Right. I'm very much a proponent of making everything clear, playing to
More
the
clear
intent
than
of
it
the
needs to
game.
be.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? I think you had more of a problem with the internet's response.
Right. So obviously, what happened was it looked a bit scummy from. It looked very scummy from the perspective of the stream, because he moved his graveyard and then moved it back.
Mm-hmm.
But Kent's position is that his opponent didn't see him move his graveyard,
Okay.
and then when he called a judge, because his opponent missed the trigger, the judge ruled in his favor because the opponent didn't bring up that he moved the graveyard. So his opponent just didn't see him move the graveyard.
Right.
So what happened was his opponent plays Rest in Peace.
Which comes into play trigger.
Right.
Enters the battlefield trigger. I apologize.
Right. He goes to move his graveyard, or to exile his graveyard.
Thoughts he's resolving in this game.
His opponent doesn't announce his trigger, so he just puts his graveyard back down. It's edge shooting, and I don't like it, but I don't think it warranted the witch hunt that came as a result.
I'll get behind you on this one. Here's where I stand on it. If you don't want edge shooting to happen, all right. So edge shooting is definitely like a scummy thing that you don't want to ever be a part of,
Right.
or involved with.
Man, I love me a Nettle Sentinel. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, Nettle Sentinel's very good. And if you are Card Hoarder, is that the name of the team?
Yes.
If you're that team, you do not want any part of having a person represent you that doesn't represent you well.
Right.
And if you're gonna put on a jersey and go to a Magic tournament and sign up and play, you're representing a company.
Absolutely.
And that's all there is to it. And so, I stand behind Card Hoarder's choice to, eliminate Kent from their whatever you call it, team of players.
Mm-hmm.
But I concur that if you watch endless hours of Magic matches on stream, you're gonna find people, doing things either incorrectly, either intentionally or unintentionally. Like
Absolutely.
our last round, for example. Joey clearly didn't intentionally cast cranial plating without Metalcraft for his Mux. It
Right.
was just a mistake.
Yeah, he just
And
had
he wasn't-
2 cards there with his lands. He tapped them, played it.
Yeah,
Whatever.
he just thought that, and I don't fault him for it. Things happen in matches of Magic.
Right.
Um,
So this is where I differ a little bit I think what Card Hoarder did was absolutely wrong,
Okay.
but not in the sense that they shouldn't have removed him from the team. So their initial response was, we got Kent Ketter's story. We're going to give him the benefit of the doubt because this is what he said and keep him on. But then they doubled back and they're like, well, there is such an overwhelming response from the internet of giving us these other stories about Kent Ketter that we've decided to part ways with him. And at that point, it's just egregiously wrong. So you're letting random people with like no actual evidence cost this guy like his job. Like if you're gonna let him go and not do that, I mean this is the
Right.
guy's job. Then you do that. Uh, we're talking about the Kent Ketter situation.
Yeah, so the way this game went down is Paul had a very bad start, mulligan to 5. Alex Gfroerer took apart his hand pretty quickly, but didn't have a follow up to the control spells or
Right.
to the follow up beyond the controlling spells in the deck. So if Gfroerer had any creature there, he would have won that game. But the two
Probably.
Lilianas that died to just random attacks and the discard spells that didn't really produce anything.
Yeah, he lost a lot of card advantage on his end of the board, which is not where you want to be in this matchup. Like you want to be producing card advantage because that's how you're going to win the game.
Right. So Gfroerer's going to go for that Knight of Soul's Betrayal. Paul, I can
Yeah,
imagine, is going to lower his curve and be more instant oriented
I can see that.
and less interested in. I guess Spellskite's pretty good here.
So Gfroerer's bringing in Knight of Soul's Betrayal, Damnation, Golgari Charm, Engineered Explosives, and probably taking out these lilies.
Okay.
If he's got a Last Hope Liliana,
Yeah, that's huge here.
that's very good, and I would bring that in. But that's more of a Jund thing than an Abzan thing.
Yep.
You're a little bit of odds because you don't want to bring out the Lingering Souls because they're very good, and you
Right.
only have the one Knight of Souls Betrayal because you could just not draw it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very possible to get multiple Lingering Souls and a Knight of Souls Betrayal.
Yeah, and that's not a fun place to be.
It's not great, but one does buy you time for the other. So I guess that's the thing. The big thing from playing Jund against Elves a few times is you don't want to lose to the explosive start. If you're going to make Elves kind of grind it out,
Right.
then you're in very good position.
Yeah, and we saw Golgari Charm from Gfroerer
Yeah, that's
in
very
the
strong.
Affinity matchup as well. So
I'd like to see if Gfroerer has any Kalidas, because that card just wrecks the Elves deck.
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's 4
Unbeatable.
mana, so it's not like
Right.
amazing, but if you resolve it and you're not dead on the immediate swing, it's fine.
Sure. All right, so you're back to the longer discussion regarding the Kent Ketter situation.
Sure.
You're let me see if I'm hearing it right. That your problem is with Card Hoarder acquiescing to the call from the internet of, "Hey, this guy's a scumbag," and then them being like, "All right, well, if you guys don't want us to be associated with him, we're out."
Right, so they have every right to drop Kent Ketter for the situation, and I mean, you could argue both that they should and shouldn't. I think they should have
Right.
initially, but the fact that they were like, no, we're going to stand up for our guy, we believe in him, like, this isn't typical behavior, like, this is,
Right. An exception to the
Right.
rule.
like, we created, like, a terms of conduct, like, we told him, like, what he can and can't do. We told all of our team members that we hold him to a higher standard, and going forward, this won't happen again. To, like, a bunch of internet crusaders, like, well, he's a scumbag, I saw him do this once, and I'm not buying from your store anymore. Like, do a complete about face, and just like, all right, we've parted ways with Kent Ketter. That's what I don't agree with.
Sure, and it's tough when you're running a business to take a stand on something. When people are promising to never frequent your business again.
Right.
That's a tough thing to do.
Absolutely. I understand that. But if it was even going to be a consideration, you should have just let him go to begin with.
Right. Well, they lived and learned. Kent Ketter's lived and learned. These things are going to have to be worked out if we're really going to have teams be a part of the Magic the Gathering community.
Yes, and I think that we have to have teams
To make
the business grow.
the game go forward more. Sure.
Yeah. I think teams and sponsorships are absolutely the future of this game.
So here we're looking at each player has a mana creature on turn 1, but I don't know who that favors more. Paul is more of like a turn 3 explosion,
Right.
whereas Alex can play any number of very powerful cards here. Oh man. All right. Yeah, so you almost have to take. Do you take the collected company and force him to chain it back with E-Witness? It just buys you a turn, really.
It doesn't even buy you a turn because you can play E-Witness next turn and then just
right.
curve out.
Sure. You just take the Witness.
Yeah, I like taking the company here and make him get it back with a Witness. That makes it so he can't cast Heritage Druid this turn. And he can't cast Heritage Druid next turn.
Okay.
So it slows him down much more significantly than at first glance.
Man, those beautiful Future Sight Tarmogoyfs. It's a nice looking one.
I like the new art a lot more.
Well, to each their own.
3/4 Goyf. Plenty big.
Oh, okay, so he's going to play this Heritage Druid and pump the brakes on... Wow! So I guess any 1-mana elf would have done it there, but the second Heritage Druid makes it huge.
Right, that's just
now
huge.
He can tap all 3 of these Witness, get the collected company back. You know, he's in the same position as if he had just cast.
Of note, Gfroerer probably doesn't have a Knight of Souls Betrayal in hand because he let the Reclamation Sage stay in his hand.
Oh, sure. Although if he did, it would be a good one here.
Yeah, or a Golgari Charm here.
Man,
would just be
Golgari
a
Charm
huge
would be...
blowout.
Well, I see Maelstrom Pulse.
Maelstrom Pulse is just as good here.
Yep.
That'll do it. That'll
Zealous
do, pig.
Persecution.
That'll do.
So this gives your
Card
opponent's
is
team
basically
-1/-1,
Yep.
and as well as it choose one or both.
No, you get
And
both.
creatures, your creatures get bigger. So their team gets small, your team gets big.
It's like a Golgari Charm, except also take a bunch of damage.
Yeah.
2 in this case.
Man, that card is a nice one. That's a turn too late.
Yeah. And now you can 1-for-1 this Archdruid, and you're just in such great shape. Yeah. We're gonna slaughter pack that.
Upkeep. Pay. Pay for it. Okay, good.
You don't want a repeat of last week where we ended game 3
With an unpaid pact.
with an unpaid pact.
It's a suicide pact.
Although that was pretty exciting, I'll give it that.
Yeah. Sure. You just attack into this one, no big deal.
Yeah, you don't give a damn about Llanowar. If he's gonna chump it, you're feeling real good. Oh, that Shambling Vent's really good here. I never even thought about that in this deck.
Why is that card so good here?
Because it's a life swing, like a significant life swing.
Okay.
If you can keep him off of like the explosive start, then the way he wins is by like dink and dunking you for like 6 points at a time.
Uh-huh.
And to be able to take off an extra 2 points every time and give yourself 2 points is a huge deal.
All right.
Man, the naked reclamation stage.
It's not where you want to be.
Did it.
Man, so yeah, Gfroerer with that Zealous Persecution really did the trick.
Yeah, these sideboard cards from Gfroerer are doing a lot of work.
I mean, this is one of the hugest reasons to play White in Modern. The sideboard cards are just so good.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Zealous Persecution obviously a black and white card, but he's
Night's
choosing.
Trail, obviously, just a white card.
No, it's not.
You know what?
Are you done?
I'm done.
All right. So we established black and green are obviously very powerful colors, and he's choosing to add white to the deck instead of the red.
Right. So the payoff here, or rather, the payment here is Lightning Bolt, which is arguably the best card in Modern. So you're giving up the ability to play Lightning Bolt to play these sideboard cards. You just replace it with Path, which is a fairly big step down.
Sure. Path interacts in a different way. It's better in some matchups and worse in others.
Right.
I think if you ban Lightning Bolt from the Modern format, this Abzan deck is what the Jund deck would become. So there's no reason to play red without Lightning Bolt.
Right. I mean, you get Terminate, which is still very good. I'd say
Dreadbore.
Terminate's about as good as Path.
Goblin Dark Dwellers.
Yeah, I don't think Dark Dwellers is where you want to be. I don't think you want those 5-mana 4/4s.
They have Menace.
They do have Menace, I'll give you that.
Alright, let's see where we start out. We got Llanowar Elf, and Gfroerer is nothing. These games where Gfroerer has played land go on turn 1. Alright.
Can't imagine he has a lot of Lilianas in his deck.
Yeah, one, that was good enough.
Does he have one in hand is the real question.
I don't know. I just think these turns where Gfroerer doesn't play anything on turn 1, those games almost never end well for him.
So you don't have a ton post board on 1. 2 is the operative turn. Like, you want a
You
guy...
got Noble Hierarch. I think it's so important that I would almost go up to, you add 2 birds to the main deck here. If I were to want to play this deck.
So that's pretty far away from where you want to be.
Oh, here's a Dark Confidant, a card we've not seen yet from him.
That's aggressive in this matchup. I like it. You definitely want it, but...
Right.
Man, is it aggressive.
The goal is to flip your lands with this guy, but
Yeah.
flipping Knight of Souls Betrayal is bad.
Or Thrun. Also pretty bad.
Thrun the Last Troll.
Fair enough. Don't worry, I almost put Fracturing Gust in from my sideboard. That would have been good. That'd be pretty good.
Alright.
Have a Thrun.
Hopefully we have a Kitchen Finks coming down here. That's what I'd like to see for Gfroerer.
I like Lingering Souls, actually.
Okay. That's also an acceptable 3-drop. I'm just worried about that life total.
Sure.
Dark Confidant makes me nervous. I've only played it one time, and there was... No, there's one tournament I played Dark Confidant, and it was a Grand Prix, and I slid it into my burn deck, and the highest converted mana cost was 3 for Rift Bolt.
Yeah.
And so, like, I knew that's the worst I was going to do is Lightning Bolt myself.
I am a very big fan of playing Dark Confidant wherever I can. That card is great.
Okay. So Paul's representing a collected company here. And represent he did. He had it.
So, representing collecting company, the That's so bad
Go to my turn.
Archdruid Spellskite is bad.
for Gfroerer. He's got his Slaughter Pact.
Yes.
Is Slaughter Pact non-artifact? I believe it's non-artifact.
Yeah.
So that's
I guess
that
you
sounds
could.
bad
I
here.
guess you could trick him into paying two life.
Well, it resolves like they enter the battle, so that's part of it.
It might be non-black. He's thinking about it. I'm willing to bet it's non-black.
I think it's non-black, non-artifact. Let's bring it up, Jake. You
See if
lazy
we-
bum.
Let's see if we can get a Slaughter Pact on the screen.
Not
No,
black.
just not a creature that is not black.
Shucks howdy.
All right.
Oh, that's so bad.
Zuri Renegade Leader it is. So this is kind of the big combo. So if you get enough elves into play,
Not
Archdruid plus
swinging is
plus
egregious.
Zuri
I
Renegade
guess he's
Leader.
only got 3 elves.
Yeah, he only has 3 mana for that. Azuri costs 5 to pump him up.
Man, a damnation here is right where you want to be.
Yep, that's exactly the card Gfroerer would love to have.
He would like to not reveal damnation. He'd like to reveal land,
Right,
then
reveal
draw damnation.
reveal basic planes, draw damnation. Will be the ideal sequence of plays. A sequence of random events.
A flat marsh should be okay. Kitchen Finks isn't bad. You're going to get overrun here in a minute, though.
Yeah, 10's not a life total I'm excited to be at. If Paul can lay down some elves here, he can get in for well more than 10.
Zealous Persecution is in hand.
Alright, there's the basic planes.
Doesn't do much here, but on the swing, it does.
It changes the math.
Doing some math here with Gfroerer. How big is this Goyf? We've got instant land only,
Instant land, correct.
and it's not going to get any bigger anytime soon. Well,
Zealous
in
Persecution.
response, you could Zealous Persecution and get Artifact and Creature to grow your Goyf by 2. So in
you
response to
go.
the overrun.
Alright, so Slaughter Pack puts instant.
Takes your life, change spell script.
Alright, so now it's +2 artifact and creature.
I think he has an Abrupt Decay.
Okay.
So Abrupt Decay here, targeting the Elvish Archdruid.
Pass the
Swing
turn.
in. No, I want to swing with my Bob.
Yeah, we're done with him.
Yeah, doing this here seems strange.
Alright, so
He
now we're
has the
gonna.
Abrupt Decay.
Now we have to get an attack in here. I think what he's hoping for is an attack, a block, and then
Add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana.
how do we get? Why is this already tapped? Oh, it's convoking.
So, neglecting to regenerate his Elvish Archdruid. Presumably because he's getting something that costs 2 here. Another Spellskite.
Takes your life, change target of abrupt decay to spell script.
Yeah, doing this on his turn was probably the misplay here.
So you get in with Goyf here, or do you think you have to protect?
No, you have to stay back now.
Right. Alright, got that heavy dice coming down on top of the Goyf.
Yeah, get as much damage as possible.
Makes me very nervous. Man, Gfroerer's gonna have to do some very interesting blocking here. This is not where I want to be.
He can absorb 6 damage.
Do I have to leave trigger?
Oh, that's the perfect elf to draw.
Yep. So now Archdruid taps for 5 exactly, which activates Azuri exactly. But we don't care. We're just gonna cast more elves. All right. Yeah. So he's gonna let Gfroerer take one more hit off the Dark Confidant. Yeah. Pay.
Yeah, pay for pack, then reveal. Not lose the game. I was about to lose the game. Probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
They're both at the beginning of the upkeep triggers, so
Right.
he can order them however he wants.
There we go. Dark Confidant saving our lives here.
Yep.
Greatness at any cost. Yeah, it's not the draw you wanted. Yeah, this isn't going to end well for Alex.
So he's got an Abrupt Decay in hand.
You can't pass the turn. You have to You have to kill Azuri or you're just dead.
Right. It's gotta be Azuri. Thanks, opponent.
Yeah, another target elf. He could literally target any elf. I don't think he's any mana available to him.
6 mana available to him. Another Azuri coming down. Oh. Ew.
Gfroerer just pointed out how unnecessary giving all your elves Forest Walk is in this situation.
Yeah, so this is
Yeah, so he's
the game.
Gfroerer definitely has a forest with an overgrown tomb.
He said forest. I said forest.
Yeah, so we've got he's dead several different ways.
Just the one, actually.
Oh right, but
Combat damage.
yeah, he missed the. He got a basic swamp on his Windswept Teeth
Sure.
by accident, so he just cheated.
Yeah, he announced apparently that he was getting a forest and then just got a swamp.
Listen,
But
so
a
what,
forest would have done it too.
Right.
It's exactly in play.
But what should happen now is everybody needs to get on Reddit and deconstruct every match Alex Gfroerer has ever played on camera.
They should. He's a scumbag.
And call his employer
Yeah.
and tell him that
I wonder where Gfroerer works now. He was unemployed for the longest time.
I don't want to publicize it because
I want to know where he works.
I'll tell you when
Oh,
we're
so you
wrapped
know.
up here. I
but
do
you're not
know.
gonna tell me.
I think I know.
Okay.
Okay.
He works for Card Hoarder
No,
Cards.
he does no such thing. Listen, check back in with us tomorrow night. We're gonna have
Yeah, we're going to jam some standard.
much excitement regarding this standard evening.
Yeah, I like the standard format a lot.
It's amazing.
We should see a pretty good mix of decks. A little bit less me ranting about Kent Ketter, and maybe me ranting about something else.
Yeah, we got the Kent Ketter rant out of the way.
Yeah, if Taco Bell messes up my free taco tomorrow, I'm going to be ranting about
Oh,
that.
is there free tacos tomorrow?
Yeah. Spoilers, everybody. Free Doritos Locos Tacos at Taco Bell tomorrow.
From what time to what time?
I think it's 3 to 5 or 3 to 6.
All right, I'm in.
Deal.
Oh, so good. Do I have to? No purchase necessary.
No purchase
Oh
necessary.
my gosh, just a empty belly.
Go get your